Once upon a time, Hare and Hyena were good friends. They often went out together to look for food. However, Hyena was very greedy. Whenever they shared a meal, he ate more than his share and didn't care if Hare went hungry. Hare noticed this and decided to teach him a lesson. One day, Hare invited Hyena to a feast in the forest. "Friend," said Hare, "today we shall eat until we are full." Hyena's mouth watered at the thought of plenty, so they set off for the forest. On the way, Hare suddenly stopped. "Do you smell meat?" he asked Hyena. "Yes," replied Hyena. "It smells like a whole ox has been roasted." "Look over there," said Hare, pointing with his paw. Hyena saw a big dark shape under a nearby bush and rushed towards it. "It must be the food," he thought. Without thinking, he dashed into the bush. As soon as Hyena touched the shape, it moved. Startled, Hyena jumped back. Then he cautiously approached the shape again. It moved again, and Hyena ran away in terror. He hid behind Hare, trembling and whimpering. "What is it? What is it?" he asked. Hare pretended to be scared. "I don't know," he said, "but let us go and tell the others to come and see." Hare called all their animal friends and told them about the scary, moving shape in the bush. All of them were afraid to go near it, so they sent Hare back to check. When he got to the bush, Hare saw that the shape was nothing but a large bundle of meat tied up with vines. He untied the vines and found that there was enough meat for everyone. But before he could call the others, Hyena rushed in and started gobbling up the meat. "Stop, Hyena," shouted Hare. "You can't eat it all. We all need to share." Hyena paid no attention. Instead, he kept stuffing himself with meat. Hare couldn't believe his eyes. He knew Hyena would eat everything if they didn't do something. So Hare came up with a plan. He grabbed some meat and walked away. Hyena followed him, still eating. After walking a little distance, Hare sat down and put the meat down in front of Hyena. "Eat, my friend," he said. "This is for you." Hyena looked at the meat and licked his chops. "Thank you," he said. "This is an extra treat for me." Hyena kept eating until he was full. Then Hare sighed, "I'm going to get some water." "Do you want anything?" "No, I'm full," replied Hyena. "There is nothing for you at home, my friend," said Hare, "so you can sleep here beside your food." Hyena agreed. So they both lay down beside the meat. Hare woke up in the middle of the night and felt hungry. He got up and started eating the meat. Hyena also woke up and saw Hare eating his food. "Hey, that is mine," he protested. "You said I could sleep here," said Hare. "And besides, you fell asleep while eating. Isn't it your fault?" "But you shouldn't eat it all," argued Hyena. "We have to share." Hare stood up and said, "Very well, I'll share it with you." He picked up the meat and dropped it in front of Hyena. Hyena got up and started eating, but it was too little for him. He wanted more, but he knew Hare wouldn't give it. So he came up with a plan. He pretended to be kind and generous. "You must be hungry, my friend," he said. "Have some more of my food." "Oh, thank you," said Hare, pretending to be grateful. He picked up the meat and took it to his den. Hyena followed him and stood outside the entrance. "Give me some," he said. "Okay," said Hare. He poked his head out of the den and spat a little bit of meat at Hyena. Hyena lapped it up and asked for more. This went on for a while. Finally, when Hyena was full, Hare went inside his den and closed the entrance. He heard Hyena trying to push his way in, but he just kept pushing harder and harder. "Don't try to come inside," yelled Hare. "If you do, I will bite you." Hyena kept trying to push his way in, but Hare kept biting him. Hyena finally gave up and lay down on the ground outside the den. In the morning, Hare came out of the den and found Hyena lying on the ground. "Why did you lie down here?" he asked. "I couldn't get inside," said Hyena. "You kept biting me." "That is because you wouldn't stop pushing," replied Hare. "Hare, I told you to wait outside, didn't I?" Hyena stood up and said, "Well, you were right. I should have listened to you." From that day on, whenever they shared food, Hyena made sure not to eat too much. Once, while they were eating, Hyena complimented Hare on his quick wit. "You outsmarted me again," he admitted. And I'm sorry for being greedy. Hare just smiled and continued eating. One day, Hare and Hyena were walking through the forest when they heard a loud roar. Both of them froze in fear. Hyena started shaking like a leaf. "What was that?" he stammered. Hare, who had seen a leopard, replied calmly. "Just a leopard. Let us run away," suggested Hyena. "No. Why should I run?" asked Hare. Hyena couldn't understand. "Because you are afraid," explained Hare. "I'm not afraid," said Hare, "and I don't want to run away." Hyena didn't believe him, so he turned tail and fled. Hare watched him go and burst out laughing. Hyena kept running until he was out of breath. Then he looked back to see if the leopard was chasing him. When he saw that Hare was still sitting in the same place, he couldn't help but feel ashamed. As Hyena approached Hare, he said, "You were right. I was being a coward. Why don't you come with me?" "I'm sorry, my friend," said Hare, "but I like living alone." Hyena understood that Hare was telling the truth, so he didn't insist. Instead, he apologized for being such a bad friend. Hare forgave him, and they parted ways. Hyena lived the rest of his life as a brave and honest animal, and although he never forgot his shameful act of cowardice, he was grateful that Hare had shown him the error of his ways. The two friends remained acquaintances, meeting occasionally in the forest and sharing stories of their adventures. They both learned valuable lessons about friendship, courage, and honesty from each other, and so their paths continued to cross, reminding them of the importance of kindness and understanding in their wild world.